This here is Percy the polar bear.
Pleased to meet you. Look, I've got to ask, what on earth is that bear doing here?
Well, it's a long story. You see, my friend Percy is here looking for help. Because where he comes from, there's loads of ice. And this ice is really important to polar bears like Percy, because they use it to find food and, well, if it wasn't there, they wouldn't be able to get around it for a start, and it'd all be water when they wake up from their... Yeah! Hey, what exactly is that, Percy? Snow. Don't be silly, Percy. Nobody's living for the whole winter.
Yeah, he's right, bears do.
What?
Your friend is a bear, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, in the winter, bears hibernate. They go into hibernation, which means that they sleep for the whole winter.
For the whole winter? But then they'll miss Christmas and all the snow Percy was telling me about.
Well, that's not entirely true, you see, because Percy lives in the Arctic Circle.
I thought he lived in the North Pole.
No, the North Pole's in the Arctic Circle, like in the same way that Lewisham is part of London. Now, in the Arctic Circle, it's very, 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 very cold. So cold that in the winter, nothing really lives there. And then, in the summer, it's also really, 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 really cold. And so, the ice lasts for the whole year. So even when Percy wakes up from his hibernation, there's still plenty of ice and snow for him to play with and find food.
If bears really do sleep for the whole winter, well, they must be starving when they wake up. When I go to bed without dinner and I wake up in the morning, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Exactly. And because it's been so long since he's eaten, he's absolutely starving. And he wants to. No, he needs to eat right away.
Hey, boys and girls, I don't know what you think, but I think Caretaker Colin is pretty clever. Hey, Percy was wondering if maybe Caretaker Colin could help us.
Help you? How?
We're on a quest.
Whoa, a quest? Well, that sounds exciting. I've never been on a quest before. What's it for?
Well, as you know, Percy's home is made of ice. The problem is that for the last few years, some of this ice has started to disappear. And Percy's scared that if something isn't done soon, well, one day he'll wake up and it'll all be gone.
Oh, that's bad news for bears like Percy. If the ice keeps disappearing, it means he's got to swim for days and days to find food. I don't know if you've tried swimming on an empty stomach before, but believe me, it isn't nice. Already, some bears have died from drowning and starving.
Died? Are you saying that right now polar bears like Percy are dying? I didn't know it was that bad. We have to find out where it's going, Caretaker Colin, and bring it back now.
That might be difficult, Debbie.
Why?
Well, because I think Percy's ice is melting.
Melting?
Yeah, melting. We all know what melting is, don't we? Who does this come?
Oh, well, that was my drink, but it's only ice left now.
Ah, well, so you think. Why don't you have another look, Debbie? What's in it now?
Hey, look, just water.
Of course, his ice is water, Debbie. Water that's got very, 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 very cold and frozen and gone hard. Which, of course, is what happens in Percy's home. In the winter, the sea gets so cold that it freezes and turns to ice. It's called sea ice, as in ice from the sea. And then, in the summer, as it gets warmer, this ice begins to melt. That's what we call the process of ice turning to water. It's called melting.
Wait, are you saying that this is what might happen to Percy's ice?
Maybe.
Yeah, but Percy's home is the ice. If all the ice melts, he'll have nowhere to sleep.
Well, let's not forget, Debbie, it's not just polar bears that need ice to survive. In the South Pole, we have, what do we have down there? Penguins! They need ice to find food, and in some parts of the world, people use the ice high up on the mountain tops for water.
Oh, this is bad, Caretaker Colin. If all the ice melts, none of the polar bears will be able to find any food, and they might... Oh, I don't want to say it. Where's all the ice going?
Well, when the ice melts, it goes back into the seas and oceans, and that can have problems for all of us, including all these boys and girls.
Why?
Let me show you why. Quickly, let's use your cup again, Debbie. Right. Very simple. What do you think will happen if I continue to pour water into this cup? What's going to happen to it? Yeah.
It's going to overflow.
Exactly right. Let's see if you're right. Of course it will. It's going to overflow. There's too much water for the cup to cope with, and that's the same as the water goes back into the seas. As the ice melts, goes back into the seas, the sea level rises, and it can spill onto the land, and there'll be floods.
So, it's not just Percy and the polar bears that are in trouble. We all are. But what's causing all these bad things to happen, Caretaker Colin?
Global warming!
Who is this global warming? I've never heard of him before.
No, it's not the name of a person, Debbie. No, global warming's what's happening to the world right now.
Which is what?
The world's getting hotter, Debbie.
What, the whole world is getting hotter?
Yeah, it's like the whole world is in a great big microwave. It's never turned off, and as a result, we just get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Even in the winter?
Yeah, well, the winters get warmer and the summers get hotter.
Caretaker Colin, is this global warming thing happening here, in this country as well?
Yeah.
In London?
Yeah.
In Lewisham?